Thanks, Chrissy. And it is good to be here. It's, you know, we've heard enough buzzwords over the last couple of days, and if you want to roll them into one project and one commodity, absolutely, Podium and Parkes Reef project ticks the boxes, and I jotted some of them down. It really is precious metals. So if you're looking for precious metals, tick. It is green metals. It is absolutely a big supporter around cleaning nitrous oxides out of existing vehicles, and also a big lever towards green hydrogen and hydrogen fuel cell cars, and a supporter of hybrid fuel cars. It is a critical mineral, and it's, you know, I think really ready to be placed going forward. So it's a great opportunity to come up. We've seen PGEs and PGMs start to get a bit of momentum, particularly in the exploration space. Now, Podium's been listed since 2018. We've started with a PGM project, but we're ready to move into what it looks like from a project evaluation and into a development phase moving forward. We've got the paper on the website, so please run through the disclaimer, and it's really a good opportunity to talk around what makes us special. It starts with the ore body. So the ore body for me was the greatest attraction after 20 years in operations, operational development, project development in mid and top tier miners, and a chance to jump on board and take a company and a project in a new commodity in Australia through to operation, and I think we've got the opportunity to do it here. 3 million ounces currently in inferred resource at 1.6 grams per tonne, a 15-metre wide ore body, which is significant when considering some of our South African PGM peers, and some of you would have seen the photos, mining in, you know, 1 metre labour-intensive places as well. So 15 metres for a vertical ore body is absolutely set up for Australian mechanised mining. We've got an exploration target which has been fully drilled out this year, and pending an update to the mineral resource shortly, has the ability to significantly grow our resource and grow it down to about 250 metres depth. We're in the right commodities. We've been able to build the right team, which isn't just focused around adding ounces for the sake of adding ounces. It's about adding value to the project at the right point in time. And doing it on a parcel of land in the Midwest, which is really going to enable that project development, in consultation with our traditional owners, with our station owners, with local shires and the Midwest community. PGMs, I'll do a quick little space. PGMs, PGEs for the audience, relatively interchangeable. Nominally it's a mix of 6 different metals: platinum, palladium, rhodium, iridium, ruthenium and osmium. The Australian market also includes gold. We've got 5 of those which we think are potentially economic. So platinum and palladium, which I'll talk about later, rhodium, iridium, which are high value and significantly precious metals globally. So you're talking about global production, somewhere between 7 to 20 tonnes of rhodium and iridium production globally. So it truly is a rare metal and high value. The catalytic properties really enable them to be critical around electrolyzers in green hydrogen, fuel cells, as well as the catalytic converters moving forward. We spoke about critical minerals. You know, it sits on sort of every global critical minerals list, and if you look at the table in the bottom right, and you can look at it in your leisure later, it sits everywhere. Yet the world's production is controlled by South Africa, a little bit into Zimbabwe, and significantly as a byproduct out of Russia, associated with the nickel and predominantly Norilsk. So 2 jurisdictions, Russia, which not a lot of people want to source their raw metals and materials from, South Africa, which is a well-established PGM producer, but now with mines which are getting significantly deeper, grades are getting lower, infrastructure's getting older, and with power interruptions. So it's getting more challenging in South Africa. WA and Australia is absolutely primed to start carving out a niche, and we think Podium's right at the forefront of that moving forward. So for us, where are we? We're about 80 kilometres west of Meekatharra, so up in the Midwest. For those which heard John speak earlier around Phoenix, we're just over the range from them. West Gold in around the area. So, you know, a well understood section of WA and well supporting for a mining operation. We have granted mining leases. We've got a granted native title agreement in place as well. So as we continue to understand and develop our studies for the project, we're ready to go moving forward. The ore body. Now this is a bit to take in. Usually when you see these maps, you're looking at sort of aeromagnetics, you're looking at prospective areas. This is 15 kilometres drilled and proven from an ore body. It's near surface, so we're under about 5 to 6 metres of alluvial soil. To give you a bit of perspective, a typical mining operation in Australia, both open pit and underground, is somewhere around the range of 2 to 2.5 kilometres in strike. Now we've got 15 kilometres proven, continuous, and continuous both grades and in widths moving forward. So the opportunity here is to really parcel it up and target where do we go first. Really splitting it into 6, 7 or 8 different mining jurisdictions in that same ore body. So, huge potential to leverage off of. 3 million ounces, as I mentioned, really with recent assays, we're really looking to hone in on where those wider zones are, as well as better understanding where our high-grade zones are. We've had a number of hits over the years which sit well plus of 3 grams per tonne, which is more typical to a South African PGM operation. And we think we know where those are, and we're looking forward to being able to model and print those out in the next couple of weeks, or hopefully even next week, around a resource update. So it's pretty exciting for us. What does it look like? So 15 k's long, it's steeply dipping, it's pretty bloody continuous, 15 metres wide. We've got a handful of holes down to 500 metres, which we drilled at the end of last year and finished off early this year, which all hit the reef within a couple of metres of projection. So with the best part of almost 300 holes through the reef, we've got a greater than 90% success rate in hitting the reef. So pretty good conversion from an exploration space, which really sets us up for growth and development moving forward. So huge success in our exploration programs to date, giving us confidence that when we need, we think we'll be able to really add even more significant ounces than what we've reported recently. Mining. So from a conceptual space, because it is near surface and it is steeply dipping, we're absolutely looking at the opportunity for early access to the ore in the open pit and transitioning down to an underground mine for a life of mine considerations. And with a steeply dipping ore body, it alludes itself to having a lower dilution and maintaining higher grades. Having higher grades both in the hanging wall and footwall side allows us, should we need, to do selective mining, but we've also got the opportunity to do some bulk long hole stoping mining akin to some of our base metal and gold miners in WA and more broadly across Australia. Processing. So what does processing look like? And this is one of the challenges us, along with the rest of PGM operators and explorers in Australia, need to unlock. The traditional path is absolutely around taking our PGM sulphides, developing a sulphide concentrate predominantly through our sulphide ore, and then having that as a saleable item to smelters. Currently, it's internationally. There are not PGM smelters in Australia. That's good, that's exciting. Our cider tests and preliminary tests absolutely get us in the range of expected recoveries against peers, as well as concentrate grades of a saleable nature. But we think there's more value to be had through looking at downstream processing. And downstream processing for us is not really targeting a PGM smelter in this day and age. It's looking at a small, scalable atmospheric leach and really looking to see if we can bypass the smelter step and focus around upgrading our concentrate and or direct feed both our oxide and sulphide ore to produce a high-grade product, so akin to a PGM salt or resin, which is lower volume, so lower cost ex-mine gate, higher payabilities straight through to the refineries, and really opens up our opportunities to feed into Europe, South Africa and the rest of the world in that space. So we're pretty excited by the early tests and look forward to being able to share some of that data before the end of the year. Project timeline, so we've got a lot coming. So what does it look like? Towards the end of this year, we'll do some of our pre-scoping study work Internally, we'll release our resource upgrade shortly, and we'll really give that first update around our MET test work, which, as I said, is exciting with a view to what the final product spec looks like for Parkes Reef's PGM products. We'll then roll into what our scoping study looks like and kickstart our pre-feasibility towards the end of 2023. The scoping study will best inform where our infill drilling comes, so being able to transfer our inferred resource into indicated to enable ore reserves, but also to identify where we think the growth drilling will come, or where we need to focus our growth drilling for the Parkes Reef project. Just a snapshot around our ore body. So we've got what we call the 5 element PGMs: platinum, palladium, rhodium and iridium, and gold. Platinum and palladium for us and our ore body, as I said, very akin to the South African style Merensky UG2 type ore bodies, with relatively a 50-50% split. Small by volume, rhodium and iridium, but I think circa today's market and the last few months' market, rhodium's $14,000 an ounce and continues to sit around there plus. So it only takes a small volume to add significant value to this project. As a side space, having nickel, cobalt and copper is pretty handy as a byproduct as well, and early MET testing suggests they are absolutely recoverable both in our sulphide flotation but also around our atmospheric leach as well. So a suite of 8 metals, which is pretty exciting, and for us it's really around optimising that product suite moving forward. The team's ultra important. So from an executive team, absolutely, we've handpicked people who've got experience across geology, mining, processing, metallurgy, operations, projects. Every one of our team, from an executive piece and a senior leadership piece, has run operations at a senior manager or general manager level. They've been in technical excellence discipline in Australia and overseas, optimising operating projects, and have really got that value perspective in space with every piece of work we're doing. The board, which has absolutely been stable through the last 4 years, has been able to add Kathy Moises from a commercial background, but also Rod Baxter to the board recently, and Rod, I think, well known in WA, but prior to that, a number of years with Anglo Platinum as a technical director. So we've got PGM and operation experience. From a cash flow, 5 million in the bank, 45 million market cap, cashed up now to run through to scoping study to continue to add value to the project. But at 45 million, lots of opportunity on the table to be at the forefront of the PGM market going forward. An ore body which is significant, just both by size, scale, growth and high grade, really sets us up to lead from the front in this area. And a clear pathway to production moving forward enables us to focus on what value looks like, not just in the short term, but in the medium and long term at the forefront of carving this out with our peers in WA moving forward in the next few years. So come and see me. I'm around both tonight, tomorrow morning out in the marquee. Happy to talk around both PGMs and Podium Parkes Reef forever and a day. It's something I'm passionate about from a project perspective, value perspective, and I think it really is a commodity in Australia which is ready and poised to run. So thank you. Thanks, Chrissy. Thanks all.